Go ahead and hit record.
I already did, you stupid bitch. Earl, fuck
What's
you.
up?
What's up, man?
Sorry about that. I was waiting for an email.
Are you good, man?
I always have a Kamala watching over me.
Rest in peace.
Did you ever get that that shit that you ordered from?
Yeah, this is one of them. This might have been the last thing he ever sold anyone before he died.
Holy shit, dude.
It's not fun.
He lived in Alabama, right?
He lived in, or is it Mississippi, like not Tupelo or real deep in the South.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where we're at, dude. We're in
we're at the bottom.
Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the town. It wasn't.
It might be Tupelo.
But if something, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that. I almost, because my girlfriend lives in or she's from Alabama.
Yeah.
So I was gonna try and kill.
Is she from Mobile? That's where all the hot chicks in Alabama are from.
No, it's a real small, like Decatur, Alabama.
Yeah, that's Georgia. That's
no, Georgia. Decatur, Georgia.
No, it's also there's a Decatur, Alabama too.
Damn, the South is really lazy with fucking naming town names. They're just like, yeah, we just put a Decatur in all of them.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, I was in a Planet Fitness in Decatur or Hartselle, Alabama, because all these towns are so close to each other.
Yeah.
And some guy in the bathroom was like, "Wait a minute, you're Earl Skakel." I'm like, dude, the fuck out of here.
Wait, is that the weirdest place you've ever been recognized?
A Planet Fitness in Alabama. Well, I'm a big hockey guy, so I went to a Nashville Predators game, and just a guy comes up to me in the concourse going, "Hey, you're that guy from Roast Battle." I'm like, yeah, I guess, but hey, I love it. So
I don't know how he recognized you with your fucking shirt on and no fucking like fur coat.
Yeah, I mean, I was real incognito at that game. I'm like, I'm not going to know anyone here. And then the next day, the guy that's Planet Fitness on the plane. I mean, I'm not famous, but like I get recognized a lot from a show I hate. That's another story.
Oh, we'll get into it, I'm sure.
Oh, we can. I'll talk shit too.
You ready to get into it?
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do 5 Rushmores, let's go ahead and start off with one.
We don't have to.
No,
dude, we love it.
It's a great
we
idea.
love the idea. You're pushing us to challenge ourselves.
Right? And I talk a lot, so just like if I'm going too long or whatever, just like I don't know, look at me and I'll figure it out.
No, dude, you're good at podcasts. We know that. You've proven it.
Well, I just talk a lot. That's all.
Yeah, well, I mean that's like
podcasting.
Yeah, it's 80% of podcasting.
All right, we're gonna start off with action stars.
Oh, do you want me to introduce the fucking podcast, you retard?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Welcome to the Rushmore podcast. My name's Pepper.
My name's Thomas.
And this is a podcast where we take our Mount Rushmore of any given topic. And this week we have Earl fucking Skakel.
Daddy Man Flex.
And you also have I have a sidekick with me today. It's RoboCop.
Oh shit!
Is that an original one from like the fucking 80s?
Yeah, I ruined it. I took it out of the box.
That's the one they used in the movie.
Yeah, it's actually Peter Weller. He lives in my apartment. And
really?
I met him once at Best Buy. I've never been so starstruck in my life.
Did you hit him with a RoboCop
like
line?
An hour, and I see him walk in, and he's very recognizable because he hasn't
half
aged.
robot,
half cop.
Yeah, he walked in. It's like, oh my, he had the costume. I was like, wow, this guy goes everywhere like that. And I left my place in line. I'm like, dude, I mean, dude, it's RoboCop. It's like meeting Elvis. And he's like, thanks, man. And then he basically told me to beat it.
You didn't hit him with a line, dude?
I wanted to because that's my specialty. Like I saw the bad guy from Cobra once in the supermarket, and like, you guys are too young to enjoy the genius of the Stallone movie Cobra, but the bad guy has a very definable jaw. Like he's very distinct looking. And I just walked right up to him and said a line from Cobra, and he looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" The movie was like 30 years ago.
He said a sentence he read 30 years ago. He's like, "What the fuck? I don't even know what I said."
I can't help myself. I have no shame, so I'll go up and where I live in West Hollywood, you see celebrities every second of every day. So I'm just used to going up to them and talking to them.
Yeah, I don't have like Thomas is a big like celeb hound. Like he loves talking and fucking meeting celebrities and shit. I don't give a fuck. I just
I have no shame either.
I have nothing to say to him at all. Like I've met a couple and I'm just like, yeah, what up, dude? Like I don't get it. They're just
I mean,
people.
it depends who they are. Like when I saw the guy from Cobra, I'm like, okay, this guy's probably not recognized very much. He's gonna like this, and I think deep down he did.
Yeah.
I saw the sensei from Karate Kid like 15 years ago, and now he's popular.
That's fucking hot right now.
Yeah, but like 15 years ago, it wasn't. Like so. Yeah, I just went right up to him and said, "Sweep the leg," something he's probably heard 1,000 times.
What if he fucking did it?
I mean, he kind of looked at me like he didn't get what I was saying, but like I thought I was like giving him a tribute, and it hit me. Karate Kid's not the only movie he's ever done. He's probably been like, I've been in like 100 other films, dude.
Nah, he was in Karate Kid, and that's fucking it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry if you're in a movie that fucking big, and you can't get mad at people for recognizing you only for that.
Didn't Jaden?
But that's gotta suck. I mean, because you look him up on IMDb. He's literally been in over 100 films, and he was in Rambo 2 and all that. And, it's got to be annoying.
I guess, sure. But
Yeah.
I mean, fuck him. He's fun, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. He's doing okay.
He's doing great right now.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai is the biggest fucking thing on the planet.
All right, well, I hit the Dennis O'Neill fan page and asked for questions. We got some pretty good ones.
Those fans are out of control, man.
Yeah, dude, they're fucking incredible. I'm a big Dino guy. Thomas is not.
Well, I am now because we had them both on. I like the guys.
They're fucking incredible. I think Beach Cops is the funniest podcast on the planet right now.
Yeah.
They're fucking incredible. But yeah, the fans are the best. We actually got a celebrity question. Very excited about that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's going to blow your mind. Earl is probably going to get pretty mad at it because it's not a very flattering question. It's not a very respectful question.
Okay.
But the question was asked, so it is my onus to ask it to him.
Your what?
Onus.
Okay.
Responsibility.
I got an onus for you.
Oh, shit.
That's a new word I've never heard Pepper say, so that means we'll hear it about 6 times in this fucking episode.
That is. All right. Parker Miller wants to know, have you ever thought about changing your career to professional wrestling? You're a young kid.
I'm 52, so I'm not going to do it now. But
Prime time, dude.
I'm not big enough. I was never big enough to although there's certainly smaller wrestlers like a Spike Dudley who was very small, but I'd be a manager. Like I used to go to these local shows in the Valley. It was XPW, which was a porn company, owned it.
Really?
And they were like a much more violent ECW, like, which is saying something because ECW was incredibly violent.
Yeah.
XPW didn't have the budget, so they just said, we're only going to get fans if we do the craziest stunts. And they had really wacky characters, like their tag team champions were called the West Side. I can't even, the N-word.
Okay. Yeah.
But they had merchandise where they spelt, there's like little kids wearing their merch.
Yeah.
And it's like a hard ER.
Oh yeah, it ain't the GTA
God.
ending. And they had a gay wrestler named Angel who his thing was instead of when he was winning the match, they pin you on your back.
Yeah.
Somehow he would hit you and you'd end up with your ass in the air.
Yeah.
And he'd pump you 3 times.
Like
and
Stylebender just did to fucking Paulo Costa.
Yeah, it was that. That was his finishing move. So
Stylebender's a fucking fraud. He ripped him off.
Yeah, he saw that video and fucking.
I doubt he saw Angel with XPW, but
yeah, I saw New Jack cut somebody's forehead with a fucking cheese grater at our fairgrounds.
Yeah, he headbutted me once at a comedy show.
Oh,
get the fuck out.
I was in the crowd. I was hosting this show at a bowling alley in Hollywood, but it was like a really high-end bowling alley, if you can imagine that. It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
So I doing my thing, and after the show, he's like, "Motherfucker, you really funny," and he just headbutts me, and it hurt. Like, it was a legit headbutt. But he's so big, and he's not that big, but he's pretty solid dude. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, thanks, New Jack."
Yeah, he's also an insane individual.
Yeah, he's also the wild card of all fucking wild cards.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw his episode of Dark Side of the Ring, which was a great show on Bias, there's an incident where this 17-year-old kid, he had a great gimmick. His gimmick was he was a mass transit worker. So he'd come to the ring and you know how they dress as a train police guy, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
It kind of looked like Big Boss Man, and he lied and said he was like 25 and he was only 17. And I guess the taboo thing to New Jack was to go up to him before a match with him and go, "Hey, I want to do some offense on you." You just don't do that. So he literally took a surgeon's scalpel. Yeah. He cut his forehead from basically one side of his head.
I watched him do that with the cheese grater.
Yeah, but a surgeon's scalpel is like...
Yeah.
That's got to go to the bone.
Trying to take your fucking brain out. Yeah.
And by the way, while we're talking about blading and cutting, here's also my sidekick, my Abdullah the Butcher doll.
Shit.
He's got hepatitis and now wonders why no one wants to wrestle him.
Ralphie May, not cutting that motherfucker.
Ralphie May took me to his restaurant in Atlanta, Abdullah's Ribs, and we literally walked in there, and Abdullah's over the grill cooking, and he's sweating bullets.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, "Ralphie, doesn't this guy have hepatitis?" And Ralphie still ordered like 3 sets of ribs from him.
So he's like an actual butcher? Like it's not a gimmick at all?
I don't no, he's not an actual legit butcher. But when I was a kid, he's billed as being from the Sudan.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wonder why I haven't fully made it in stand-up. And it's because one day about a month ago, I spent like 3 hours on the internet trying to find out his real name. So his name's Larry Shreve, and he's from Windsor, Ontario.
From fucking Canada?
Yeah.
All right.
That's where most great wrestlers are from.
Really? Did not know that. All right, here's another question from Mexican Lionel. He wants to know, how much is it to see the dick on Patreon or anything like that? People really, really, really want to see your dick.
Well, I mean, it's a great dick, to be honest with you. It's more of a great picture. Some guy sent me $100 and he's like, "No homo. I just want to see it." So
yeah.
Like, dude, here's your $100 back. Well, I got in trouble one night, which is why I don't show it anymore at the Comedy Store. I used to, and it is related to one half of Danish and O'Neill. I was going on after Ryan O'Neill, and he was killing in the original room, which is the mid-sized room at the Comedy Store.
Right.
And it was late night, and late night at the Comedy Store, you've got about 30 seconds to grab their attention. If someone's doing well before you, you got to do something right up front, or they leave. So I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, I'm going to do it. And I did the Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
And my buddy, Jay Light, who's a very funny comic, he queued up the music. And so I go behind the curtain, and there's like the anticipation. Yeah. And so I do that. And then I do this thing where I drop my keys and I bend over to pick them up. And so you see everything.
Oh, God damn.
I almost got Me Too'd that night. So I don't. Here's the thing. If we've learned anything from the recent bout of Me Tooing comics is if you send a dick pic or any illicit picture or text to a girl, they're going to screenshot it for evidence down the road.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, dudes do it too.
Yeah. So that's why I don't do I can't believe I'm being serious, but that's why I would never send a dick pic again, because what if, I don't know, down the road, say I send a dick pic to you just to be funny.
Yeah.
And somehow we got into an argument about something. And you're like, all right, Earl, fuck you. I'm going to say you sent this to I don't know, your mother or something.
Yeah. You know exactly how it worked, dude.
You're just handing over blackmail.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to think like that, but like
it's a reality now.
As a 52-year-old, I started, and my girlfriend now is 27.
She's hot as fuck too.
Oh, she's hot, dude. I mean, she's
congratulations.
But like, she's really telling me how not millennials, but Gen Z thinks. And like, if you burn a young girl and probably a young dude, like, I don't know, maybe he thinks you picked up on his girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
And they have any dick pics or wacky texts from you, you're toast.
All right, this is a question from keeping on the dick train. Cameron Olson wants to know, has Ritz Crackers reached out for sponsorship opportunity after your story?
They should, but I don't think it's the type of publicity a major company is looking for, that you can fit your boner into one of their cracker bags.
Yeah.
But that is a true story. Like, there's no exaggeration on that. That actually happened.
Do you know that story, Thomas?
No, I feel like I've put it together in the last 30 seconds.
Earl Skakel fucked Carol Shelby's wife and used a Ritz cracker bag as a condom.
I mean, it's not a bad.
It wasn't the most comfortable, but when 9 of your friends had
the safest
done their thing, and like the only thing left was a Ritz cracker bag, it worked. Then
Ritz is a buttery cracker too, so I mean, there may be some residue.
But
left.
I mean, that's also also how Big Earl's dick is.
Yeah.
Well, there's like that. You mentioned Ritz being buttery. What happened was I had to open the bag up very carefully like this, and I poured all the crackers out. But they're very they're breakable, I guess. So
they're crummy.
There was a lot of residue at the bottom. So when I pulled out, my pee-pee looked like one of those ice cream things. The snow.
Yeah, like a dip. Yeah.
What are they called? Not snow cones, but
softy.
No, like a snowball. You're talking about like the coconut fucking flakes all over it.
Yeah, they're in a cone, and then it's like the white ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's
drumstick.
Drumstick.
Yes, it looked just like a drumstick.
That's disgusting, dude.
Oh, it was so nasty. And she still wanted me to come up. I told her, because my friends were pigs, and they still are, and they're all.
You're not there for sure.
I mean, I don't know what a pig is. I mean, like I treated. Like, here I am at a gangbang, and I was like, hey, I'll give you a ride home, because I know none of my friends would have.
Right.
And she was such an animal. She's like, do you want to come up? I'm like, you've been having sex with my friends for 7-8 hours, and you still want more. She was unbelievable.
Dude, I swear to God, I've seen, because I watched a documentary recently about Carol Shelby. It was like the Ford versus Ferrari, but it was like a real documentary about that. And, I mean, I can never look at him the same after hearing that story. It's like, dude. Congratulations on landing just an absolute fucking animal.
Rich should sponsor her.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she kind of disappeared after I sent
her. Probably dead, dude.
No, she's probably alive. I mean, she just had a sense. She was a girl probably at that point, late 30s. Too. She was unbelievable. I mean, and then I sent some of my gym buddies over to her hotel, and they called me like 3 days later. And I'm like, hey, how was it? And they're like, how was it? We're still here.
Jesus Christ.
She just had a sexual appetite, like, unlike any person I've ever seen.
Jesus.
All right, this is the celebrity question.
Okay.
John Little.
Oh.
The great John fucking Little.
Mm-hmm.
I started with him.
Oh, my God. He's, one of the best, one of the all-time – you want to talk about the DNO Hall of Fame? I mean – he's in there, right, with you. If you want to talk about the Rushmore of Danish and O'Neill guests, I mean, it's probably Big Earl, John Little, Eleanor Kerrigan. They had one that sucked recently. I don't want to talk about that. But he wants to know, are you trying to get the world record for oldest man to come out of the closet?
No, I mean, pussy has not been a gateway drug to dick for me. So
interesting.
I like to dress nice. There's nothing. It's hard in LA to stand out as a comic. We all talk pretty much about the same stuff, and like tonight the debates are going, and I'm sure.
Oh, that's tonight.
That's in, I think, like an hour or something.
Oh, dude, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
I've never, ever been hyped up for a fucking presidential debate. I've been hyped up for this like a fucking UFC heavyweight
I
fight.
thought you were being sarcastic the whole time.
Oh no, dude, I'm super hyped.
Oh
dude.
yeah, I mean, as soon as we're done, I'm switching on the TV just because it's going to be like two 70-year-olds arguing on YouTube about who the greatest guitar player is.
Yeah.
And there's such strategy involved. Like Trump is a great. I know this isn't like a political podcast, but
Hey, we're in Mississippi. Shoot.
he's a great agitator. So I think his game plan is just to needle Biden about his son and like being in politics for 50 years and doing nothing. And then Biden, I think Biden wins if he plays it cool, but I don't think he has the capability.
No.
I don't.
He'll be stumbling over his words in like the first 2 minutes.
You know, I don't give a fuck about Trump at all. I won't get mad if you say anything about him. The one thing that I will get mad at if you deny that he's funny, because he is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I have often said he's got the timing of a stand-up. Like, he is funny. I mean, he's a complete pig, but like, you know, just like when Megyn Kelly in that debate 4 years ago was like, "You've called women pigs, you've called them slobs," and he, with the perfect timing, goes, "Only Rosie O'Donnell," and it was so funny.
No, wrong, only Rosie.
But it was like the perfect timing. Like Biden couldn't have done that line.
No.
So it should be fun tonight.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, back in my day, there was an old guy named Johnny Russo, and he, Anyways, all right. This is a
impression. But
fuck you, dude. This is a question for me. Who do you like more, Danish or Neil?
That's a tough one, man. I don't even look at them as two people, really. Like,
I think that's pretty easy. Yeah,
they're one person to me. I talk to both about the same. They both make me laugh. I've had more meaningful conversations with O'Neill.
Yeah.
Not that we talk about that deep of stuff, but I've had more, I guess, fun conversations with Danish because we're both wrestling fans.
Yeah.
So it's really a tie. I can't pick, to be honest with
you. Oh, come on, man. You got to bury one.
We had Danish on months ago, and we started talking wrestling as soon as Pepper went to the bathroom. And I was like, I like this fucking guy. And then –
well, we don't – like when you it's like that's why me and Ralphie may get along so well. It's like when you talk wrestling with two fans, you know, they're usually talking about Hulk Hogan or Steve Austin or The Rock. Like me and Danish are obsessed with this wrestling manager from the South and Midwest by the name of Gary Hart. Not Jimmy Hart, but Gary Hart.
I don't know Gary.
Oh, dude, look him up. He's so funny. He was bald, and he had a Fu Manchu, and he was a white guy. I mean, he made the three of us look black. He was so white. but he spoke in this, like, jive accent, and he'd be like, "You know, my brothers." And he was in all these low-budget wrestling leagues. So, like, he'd be filming a promo, and he was so famous in the South and Midwest that, you know, like he'd be doing a promo in a parking lot about his wrestler he's managing, and a black dude would pull up in a Cadillac just to talk to him. And he's like, "I'm doing business right now, my brother." And like, it was just like,
dude, once you did that impression, that actually sounds really familiar. I grew up in Georgia, and I mean, there's a lot of fucking Marty Jannetty. He
killed a man in your hometown.
Yeah, he's killed a man
at a bowling alley that was not high end.
Yeah,
he's really gone off the grid.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's Columbus, Georgia legend.
Pepper knows so little about wrestling. When he called me to tell me that Marty Jannetty killed someone in his hometown, he was like, didn't Marty have like a famous tag team partner? He told me about. I was like, oh, Shawn Michaels. That's who you can't think of the fucking name for.
About wrestling is like Jimmy Snuka killed his girlfriend. Yeah. Like everyone knew, and it was like, you know, it's all good. And then
crazy Jimmy,
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Bruiser Brody got killed, and you know, in Puerto Rico, and which is basically they wrestled for real in Puerto Rico, so it was taken a lot more seriously.
Yeah.
And the guy who was in the shower when he got killed, I think Carlos Colon, he was just put into the WWE Hall of Fame like 3 or 4 years ago. Like he might have killed him. Like they still don't know who technically killed him.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that story.
They did a Dark Side of the Ring on that. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm sure
it's great. I mean, because Abdullah the Butcher's in it because he was there, and and so was Tony Atlas. He was actually held Bruiser Brody as he was dying because he was the only one strong enough to pick him up to take him to the hospital.
It's so sad.
Well, pro wrestling's really might be the only sadder business in how stand-up comics are treated.
Oof.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, you ready to get into the first topic?
Yeah, action stars.
Is that what you want to start with?
Yeah, we're gonna start with that.
Okay,
you go first. So what we're gonna do is Pepper will do his number 4, then mine, then yours, and we'll just go around to our number 1.
Sure.
My number 4 on my Mount Rushmore of action stars is Matt Damon from the Jason Bourne series.
Okay. Well, I mean, we know who Matt Damon is, but are you saying that's series only, like specifically?
Well, you got to take into account I've only seen like 100 movies, and I have seen 2 of those, and I enjoyed it a great deal.
Have you seen Good Will Hunting?
No.
Okay.
Was that an action movie that I should watch?
Yeah, it's a great action movie. It's him
sick.
and the genie from Aladdin.
Oh, sick.
Then it's me, or do you go?
No, I'll go. I'm going to go with a softball with number 4 and say Tom Cruise.
No, that's stupid.
Jumping fucking building for building, breaking his own leg, hanging from helicopters, whatever other fake shit that everybody says he does.
Pretended to be Dale Earnhardt in a movie.
Nobody runs in a suit better than Tom Cruise, first of all, and that should be a qualifier.
Oh, he's great. I love his first movie, Losing It, which he's so embarrassed by. If you bring it up in an interview, he stops the interview.
Oh, I need to watch that. I haven't seen that. Yeah, if you bring up fucking Adderall or something too, he'll go crazy. It's
his first movie. It's just about 4 guys trying to go to Tijuana to get laid. I mean, it's a American Pie type comedy, and
really?
It's pretty funny.
But he was a handsome kid, Tom Cruise, back then.
He was in that movie.
He was a handsome kid.
I'm going to go off the grid. Now, this is I think on a lot of these lists, it's going to be a generational thing. Because I said, I'm 52. So I'm almost positive you guys have never heard of this guy. I'm going to name it number 4. And that's the Karate Master, who was given his shot at 80s action stardom with the movie The Perfect Weapon. And his name is Jeff Speakman.
I want to say that I've seen that DVD somewhere.
Oh, you have? I mean, he literally had 0 acting experience, but he was great at karate. He was like a champion. So, and this goes to show you the 80s and why I love the 80s is some producer said, you can't act, but you're good at karate. You're a little better looking than Seagal. So you get a movie.
Yeah, and karate is a very pretty martial art to film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a very good-looking guy. So, he couldn't act, and I think the lead actress in The Perfect Weapon was Martiska Hargitay, the girl from Law and Order. I might be mispronouncing her name. The one who plays Olivia Benson on SVU.
Take your word for it, dude. I have no idea. Sounds like a great movie.
If I ever meet her, my goal is to go, what was it like working with Jeff Speakman?
Karate was incredible.
She'll probably be like, legitimately, nobody's ever asked me that, and I appreciate you for asking.
Yeah. What's your number 3?
He's my number 4.
My number 3 is Denzel Washington.
Oh, the greatest actor of all time?
Yeah. From specifically from the movie Training Day.
Yeah. Oh, you motherfuckers.
Do the whole thing.
I don't have it pulled up.
All right, don't, because you have to say the N-word, and you've done that way too many times.
Jesus. My number 3, Denzel, by the way. Did you watch anything else other than Training Day? Have you ever seen another Denzel movie?
I watched like half a flight. Remember the Titans was a staple in my middle school. That's pretty much it. I've only seen.
By the way, Denzel Washington, a lot of people don't know this, was the second choice to play Detective Ricardo Tubbs in Miami Vice.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy that the guy who beat him literally probably never worked again, and then so he made out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Denzel's had a pretty good career.
Yeah.
All right, my number 3 is Mel Gibson.
Oh, okay. The racist?
Yeah, he said some very questionable things that Pepper aligns with.
That's not
true. But his movies, I mean, Lethal Weapons, all of them, every one of them.
That's the one where his shoulder keeps popping out?
Yes.
All right. Never seen it, but I've heard it referenced.
You've never seen Lethal Weapon?
He's never seen anything, Earl. I don't.
I got ADD. I can't watch movies.
You should see the first one. The first one's like one of the best action movies. Okay. Definitely from the 80s.
When does Joe Pesci get a really big part in it?
That's, I think, Lethal Weapon
3?
2, maybe 3. Leo Gates. Okay, my number 3, once again, a man from the 80s, but he's known to kids today because he was in the Expendables. But Dolph Lundgren.
Oh yeah,
Dolph
dude.
Lundgren.
That's a handsome son of a bitch.
He's in the best Rocky movie.
Yeah, he is, and he's also in an E-Trade commercial right now.
No shit.
Really?
Well, because he's so smart. I think he has a degree in it's either physics or chemistry, but it's like
it's chemical engineering or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like a legit degree. You know, it's not like sometimes in jiu-jitsu you can get a black belt from like easier school,
like an honorary one.
Right. He's but you know, he was in obviously Rocky 4, Red Scorpion, Showdown in Little Tokyo.
Did you ever see the Always Sunny episode where they write the movie script? They're in a trailer and they're like all trying to write a movie script because they're like extras in some movie and they're in their trailer trying to write one. And they write like they're talking about how Dolph Lundgren is a basically a chemist. So like he's working in a lab, but then like the twist is he's actually half dog, half human. So he has a dog's head, and so they're like, we don't actually have to cast Dolph Lundgren. We're just going to name him Dolph Lundgren. And the plot is he can smell crime before it happens with his dog nose, and there has to be full penetration, so they can't get it past.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What a terrible show.
Stop it. But Dolph Lundgren's a great pick. Bodied up too. 1987, Dolph Lundgren might have the best upper body ever.
Was he in Mortal Kombat?
No, he was in Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, He-Man.
Which was like, well, it's a great story behind that because obviously Rocky IV was such a giant hit. They were like, well, it's kind of like the Jeff Speakman thing. It's like, we don't even know if you can act, bro, but you're hot right now.
Yeah.
And
put you in anything with your shirt off.
Yeah, I mean, his body was like, I'm straight, but that's a fucking good body, man.
It's a great body.
But Masters of the Universe is really a story about He-Man, but his acting was so bad and his accent was so thick and his command of the English language wasn't that great that if you watch that movie, they flip it and make it probably 80% about Skeletor. So it's kind of funny. But a hot Courtney Cox was in that way before Friends. So
yeah, she was also in a Bruce Springsteen video.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate
Dancing
him
in the
too.
Dark.
Fucking hate Bruce Springsteen. My number 2 on my Mount Rushmore of action stars is Mark Wahlberg from the movie Shooter.
Marky Mark?
Yeah. That's the only Mark.
I like how you went like.
No, I've seen the one about the BP oil spill. So I've seen 2 Mark Wahlberg movies.
Deepwater Horizon.
Yep.
Yeah, I like how you went like movie specific on your picks because you've only seen one.
Yeah.
Each of these people.
Yeah.
That's funny. My girlfriend worked on Deepwater Horizon, so she's a big.
Really?
And
like on the oil rig or on the movie?
No, she worked on the movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the oil rig that it happened on is like right over there.
Yeah, we're there.
Where are you guys?
Pascagoula, Mississippi, so the Gulf Coast, the bottom of Mississippi.
Yeah.
At the water.
We're like probably 5 minutes from the beach.
Yeah. Well, and then there's this river. I'm looking at the water through the window.
Yeah. So yeah,
I mean, my favorite Marky Mark movie is Rockstar, but like he's probably embarrassed by that movie.
No votes for Daddy's Home 2?
Oh, he's got some great movies, but like since I was born and raised on the Sunset Strip, Rockstar was really a parody of that genre of music.
Yeah, Steel Dragon.
I have seen Rockstar.
Yeah, Rockstar used to be on VH1 like 4 days a week when I was a kid.
It's got Jennifer Aniston in it?
It does?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen at least part of that.
Well, the funny thing is all my friends, or not all, but like I'm very close with the band that Slash uses when he's not in Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
He has his own band. And the
Isn't
singer,
it like the Conquistadors or something?
What is it? Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators.
Miles Kennedy was in Rockstar. I was about to say that. Is that the act you're about to spit out? Oh, shit.
But I've known Miles for like years, and he's so quiet and like nice, and you know, he looks a little different than he did in Rockstar. And then I saw Rockstar, and I've seen that movie like 100 times. I'm like, that's Miles, because his hair's longer.
Yeah, when Alter Bridge first came out, I used to tell everybody that, like, when I recognized it was Miles, and then so many people told me that it wasn't. That this is before I could just fucking Google it.
Yeah.
And so many people told me that it wasn't that I started thinking I was fucking crazy. So I'm glad you said that because I've never followed up on it. But
He's
yeah, Miles
so good.
God, and he has a voice of a goddamn angel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad because, like, obviously Slash, everyone wants to hear Axl, and
Yeah.
What I love about that band is they don't play that many Guns N' Roses songs. Slash is like, nah, fuck that, man. We're gonna play the Conspirators songs, and
Yeah.
they have like 4 albums. So
Wow.
I think they do like Mr. Brownstone, and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, but I've seen Alter Bridge live, and Miles Kennedy is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you should see Slash live with this band because they're all like amazing. They play Guns N' Roses songs better than Guns N' Roses.
I could believe that.
Yeah, I could definitely believe that.
Guns
N' Roses. You want to talk about a band that's taken a hard fucking nosedive?
Yeah. Well, they're just older now, and like when I saw them at the Forum out here, like you could tell the 3 OGs are doing it just because there's so much money involved, but they're not having fun.
Yeah.
No.
Just find something else to do.
My number 2, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh yeah.
That was really close.
Solid choice.
Thank you.
I mean, he's the guy.
Rambo, Rocky.
Yep.
Expendables 5, 7, 9, 1, and 2, and 3.
Oh, they're coming.
Every single fucking one of them. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in a Fast and Furious before long. But
be sick.
Rocky, Rambo. I mean, how many other fucking movies do you need?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, it's uncalculable how many movies he's done.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Was he in that?
Yeah. He's like the fucking leader of the outlaw guys in space.
Holy shit. I didn't notice that.
Yep.
But he's got so many good movies that aren't
so many.
Rocky or Rambo. Like,
yep.
Probably my favorite Stallone movie is Nighthawks, which it's got a cult following on like basic cable and stuff. But that's my favorite Stallone movie. Most people are like, "What's Nighthawks?" So
he had a movie. I mean, it's been like 6 or 7 years ago that I was like surprisingly good for what I thought I was going to get. It was him and Arnold, The Escape Plan or something like that.
Oh yeah, with Ray Liotta.
Yeah, it was actually pretty fucking good. We're watching in theaters, not expecting much, just like some dumb action. It's a good movie. I think he did a second one with Batista. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sylvester Stallone.
That's the thing is like if you watch Copland.
Yep.
Which was look at that cast: Harvey Keitel, De Niro, Ray Liotta, Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
You lost me at Michael Rappaport, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, I don't like Michael Rappaport's comedy, but like he's a good actor, or at least in that era.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched. Me and my wife have been watching Justified, and Michael Rappaport's a heavy part in season 4, and he's really good in it.
But like Stallone, I thought was the best actor in Copland. Which if you just showed people the list of people in Copland, you'd be like, he's going to be the worst actor in this thing, and he was the best.
That movie has one of my favorite lines from Robert De Niro ever, which is the simple fucking. First of all, he eats in every scene in that movie. He's got a sandwich in every goddamn scene, and he's sitting there fucking chewing on the sandwich. He just fired Sylvester Stallone, and he's like, "My hands are tied now," and he fucking does the hand motion. My hands are tied now. Fucking turns it around. The greatest thing of all time. He didn't give a fuck in that movie, and he was brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stallone. He's not dumb. He's worth over $1 billion, but he's great at playing that dumb, kind of slow-witted character. Like, Rocky was kind of a brain-damaged prize fighter.
Yeah.
Rambo, down and out Vietnam vet, lost his mind.
Simple man.
Yeah. I mean, that one acting scene in Rambo in the hardware store where he's crying and going, "It's not over. Nothing's over." Like, that's one of the best acting scenes. That scene should be shown in acting school to convey emotion. And so he doesn't get the credit, I think, because he's had so many bombs, too, that, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And, some of the Rambos were like, all right. Even the last Rambo,
I heard it was
like, come on.
Top.
It was beyond. Oh, I like Over the Top myself.
I do too. No, I heard the new Rambo was Over the Top. I was just
I thought you meant, I mean.
The arm wrestling
I was just doing a shitty pun about the other movie. But yes, I like Over the Top too. Turn the hat backwards. Let's fucking go.
Well, like I was in '86, I was 18, so that movie fit the mid '80s. Like,
you're all arm
obviously
wrestling in high school.
In 2020, it probably doesn't hold up, but it's like Roadhouse. Roadhouse is like doesn't hold up, but
it's cheesy, but it's awesome.
In '89, it was like it held up.
Man, Patrick Swayze was a good one too.
I'm so glad they didn't remake Roadhouse with Ronda Rousey. That would have been a fucking disaster.
Yeah, that was going to happen for a while.
Yeah. Well, they had a sequel with, I think, Gary Busey's kid, Jake Busey, but it was pretty bad.
Are we on your number 2, I believe?
Oh, well, my number 2. I'm going to go with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know it's almost hacky to say him, but like he was the king for a long time.
It's okay. He's my number 1, so go ahead and skip to that. Yeah, he is my number 1.
Predator is like the greatest action movie ever.
Don't you know a couple of lines from that movie?
I know them all. I've seen that movie so many times. It's on so much out here. It's on DirecTV like at least a few times a day. So I've just because I identify as a stand-up comic of 20 years. You'd think I would identify with like Seinfeld or I don't know, Russell Peters or whoever, but I really identify the most with the Indian from Predator. Because that guy, the whole movie, knew someone was out there trying to kill him, but he just couldn't find him. Oh. And then at the end, he just said, fuck it, and killed himself. But, there's Raw Deal. There's, obviously the Terminator
movies. T2.
Well, Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, Kindergarten.
Schwarzenegger lost me when he went the comedy route with like Twins and all that stuff.
I will defend Jingle All the Way. I grew up watching that movie when I was a kid, and it's a pretty fucking good movie. Now, to be fair, I have not seen it in the past
Sinbad?
20 years. Yeah.
Arnold and Sinbad? I watched Kindergarten Cop just a few months ago, and it was not good.
Yeah, it was... I met the bad guy in Kindergarten Cop. He was at Roddy Piper's funeral.
Rest in peace.
Richard Tyson, who was in a great movie called 3 O'Clock High about high school bullies. Schwarzenegger is just iconic. You could probably guess who my number 1's going to be, but Schwarzenegger's my number 2.
If we ever did a Rushmore of dead people that I wish we could have had on a show at some point, Roddy Piper's definitely on that list.
Oh, he was the best, man.
Oh, man.
He was like...
Why'd you kill him?
I did it for the numbers for my podcast because he was supposed to come on my podcast the day he died. And
that's probably something that you don't know. Earl has killed like multiple celebrities by asking them to be on his podcast.
Yeah,
Brody Stevens.
He's going to be on my Rushmore too of people I wish we could have gotten.
The day he passed, he was supposed to come on my podcast, Piper. And then I had another lady, my friend Lori Adana. She was like a fitness model, and then she became like a high-end lawyer. So she was called the Legal Diva, and so she had her own court TV, or People's Court type show. And she died, after she did my podcast. So I'm like the podcast crypt keeper.
Yep. I don't know why you still do it, but you do. My number 1 is Keanu Reeves from the movie Jonathan Wick.
It's a great show. He doesn't you don't think of him as an action star, but he is.
I've never seen any of the John Wick movies, but I have watched a bunch of videos of him doing like 3-gun competitions and everything. He's really fucking good, like legit good. I've seen him do that. I've seen him do like jiu-jitsu stuff. He's legit.
Yeah.
Never seen the movies.
You've never seen John Wick either?
Mm-mm.
So you haven't
seen
I
haven't either.
Really?
You keep telling me that they're really good.
So I Speed?
Trust you. I've seen parts of Speed.
I think he's in the new Toy Story. He's Duke Kaboom.
Speed's an iconic movie, but I hear the John Wick movies are better if you can see them somehow in a theater.
Yeah. I haven't seen the third one, but I watched 1 and 2 in theater, and I said the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I watched a little bit of the first one, and although I liked it, it was like, I wish I would have seen this in a theater.
Yeah. It would have definitely been different.
All right.
What's your number 1, Earl?
Yep.
What's my number 1? It's a tough one because I thought it was between 2 people, basically. Clint Eastwood,
Mm-hmm.
you know, who wasn't necessarily an action star. He was just a macho man in most of his movies. So I'm going with Stallone.
Wow.
Just because, you know, once again, I think anyone who's late 40s, early 50s saw Stallone in his absolute prime.
Yeah.
And he's way beyond just Rocky and Rambo. He's, you know, Tango and Cash is a pretty funny movie, but good enough in action. Cobra is like, it's dated for sure, but
What's that movie about? You've brought it. You keep bringing
Snakes.
it up. I've never seen it. Is it really about snakes?
No,
No,
it's not about snakes.
no, it's so 80s cheese because it's just like one-liners and
Yeah.
basically there's a night slasher who's going around killing people, and they're killing this person under a freeway on-ramp, and his girlfriend at the time, Brigitte Nielsen, is driving by and witnesses it. So the whole movie is the night slasher trying to find her and kill her. And Stallone's tasked with, being her bodyguard, I guess.
Yeah.
So, it's just 80s. You know, if you showed like a teenager or someone in their early 20s the movie in 2020, they'd be like, this movie sucks.
Yeah.
But in the mid 80s, it was perfection.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can forget about Rocky V. Pretend like that one didn't happen.
I mean, that one, but then he came back and, Rocky, I guess what's Rocky 6.
Balboa.
That was pretty good.
It was good, yeah. It should have been the 5th one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just leave that shit out of there. Was that Tommy Gunn?
By the way, that's a great 30 for 30 on ESPN about Tommy Morrison.
Yeah.
But
he's the one who had AIDS.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he was kind of in denial about it. And it was a great.
Am I mixing this up, or didn't he get like fake tits or something?
Well, he got like bicep implants, and like he might have gotten pec implants.
Yeah, I think so.
But his bad luck, other than getting AIDS, was he was scheduled, I think, to fight the champion, and the champion got sick or had to pull out of the fight. So his manager was like, "Don't do another fight. Just let's wait for this guy to heal."
Right.
And he's like, he was young, probably in his 20s. He said, "Fuck it, I'm going to fight this guy. I'll beat him up." And then the guy beats Tommy Morrison up, and then he never recovered. In boxing, you lose one or two in a row. It's like
the
UFC.
Record means everything in boxing,
especially in the 80s. Like,
oh yeah,
or early 90s, late 80s. Like, if you lost one or two in a row, you were done.
Yeah, you weren't marketable to them. Don King didn't give a fuck about you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of fighting,
oh, you're gonna go to that one?
You want to get into our Mount Rushmore of UFC fighters who never won a championship?
Yeah, we might not have time for 5 categories. We might have to do a 2-parter, man.
We have to do overrated comics.
Oh yeah, well that's
gonna be.
Well, let's just go lightning round on the UFC.
Okay.
People that never have a title.
My number 4 is Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Fucking love that dude. He is probably my favorite fighter. I cannot watch any of his fights sitting down.
My number 4 is going to be, he's now in the UFC, hasn't even had a fight yet, Michael Chandler.
Ooh. All right.
I ironically was going to say Michael Chandler just because, it's hard to, because he's never fought in the UFC. And if you judge him on his Bellator, he is a champion, but the category is UFC champions. Right. I think he's good enough to be one, but he's going to, I think, suffer the, what I do love about the UFC, and I know we're not going to take as much time as we did the action stars, they don't fuck around with you. Like, you want to be in the UFC, you're going to fight. And Alvarez suffered the same thing where, all right, you think you're good in Bellator? Well, this is who you're going to fight in our
organization. I think they gave him Cowboy first. And he was hot at the time.
And it's tough, I mean, Bellator is a great league, but it's not the UFC. So I think Chandler might struggle. It's just everyone he's going to fight is going to be good. There's no gimmies in the UFC.
I want Michael Chandler versus Paul Felder first. That's the fight I want.
I mean, that's a tough. You think Paul Felder, he's more of an announcer now than he is, but like he hits you, you're going down.
Oh yeah,
but,
elbows.
I would pick Chandler in that fight, but Felder's no joke.
No,
I would take
Felder. I'm sorry, Felder would be a champion, I think, in Bellator.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
He's a goddamn sweetheart.
Yeah, I would pick Felder 100%. He's just mainly because he's been on our podcast and he's a super nice dude. And I think that if you're a really nice dude, then and after especially he hasn't lost a fight since he's been on our podcast.
That is true. He's undefeated since coming on our show.
So
he hasn't fought since coming on our show, but he's undefeated.
I think we did something to him and made him better, and he can't lose now.
Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Alexander Gustafsson.
Well, he had an interim title.
Bitch. I'm talking about titles.
All right. Yeah, he's good. My number 3 is Dan Henderson.
Okay.
Scary dude. I saw him once eating sushi, and he was at the table next to me, and like we were talking when we first started, like I have no shame. I was so fucking scared to even look at him because he's like literally his shoulders are like at his ears, and he's got a head that's probably bigger than mine, and I have a huge head.
Did you get to touch him?
I was so scared. I wanted so badly to go because he really was like, even though he beat Fedor, which is my guy, but he's probably the most intimidating outside of Tank Abbott, who I met once at a auto stereo place. You don't want to say hello to Dan Henderson just on the off chance he's in a bad mood.
I've heard stories of people who have touched him, and I'm not saying like anything weird. I'm just saying like somebody went like this or something, and they're like, no exaggeration, he feels like he's made out of fucking rock. Like he's got gravel for shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, I've never touched him. The closest I've come to touching someone and feeling that is a lot of hockey players like to come to the Comedy Store, and one of the LA Kings prospects is a black dude named Boko Imama.
God damn, that's a good name.
That's a great name.
Dude, it's the best name, and he's more of a. He still hasn't made the team full time, but he was a fan of mine, which freaked me out. And I put my arm around him and said, "Hey, man, it's nice to meet you." And touching his back was like touching a retaining wall. I mean, it was. You didn't feel skin; you just felt like this solid chunk. So my number 3 choice, UFC. I'm gonna go, and it's kind of the Chandler. Reasoning is Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Yeah, I mean, these are really interchangeable. I mean, there's so many. I almost flirted with him being number 1, but
yeah, me too,
dude. Imagine where he's at right now if he didn't. If the last 5 seconds of that fucking Rosenstrike fight didn't happen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he'd be on a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah, I mean he'd probably have a title shot by now.
Yep.
Well, he probably, with Miocic, and of course, it's easy for us to sit there and go, "Oh, I would have done this." First of all, I wouldn't have been in the cage in the first place. But, he had him down with strikes. He knocked him down, and then he went for the choke. And it's like, dude, you had him where if you were just wailing on him, they would have stopped the fight.
And it seems like he does that now. Every time he gets on top of somebody, he definitely does a lot more ground and pound than going for the chokes. Like he learned from it.
Well, he's a lot smarter, but I also think it's because now, he's what is he, 6'3", 6'4",
he's a big guy.
260. I mean, at one point he was my size. I'm like, I'm not 6'3", I'm 6'1" or whatever, but 205. When he fought Liddell in 2003, I think he was literally 205 and pretty skinny. I mean,
he was a middleweight kickboxer too.
Yeah,
he fought in the middleweight division.
So, it's obvious to, I think, most people he was on, some type of pharmaceutical.
Well, that Brock Lesnar fight he had.
We're not going to spread rumors here.
That Brock Lesnar fight he had, he was a fucking monster.
It's hard to
drugs work.
That you can gain, it's 205, so it's 265 for the Lesnar fight. I think you can't gain 60 pounds naturally. It's just.
Well, I guess you've never had kangaroo meat, Earl Skakel.
What's your number 2, Pepper?
I have not.
Everybody knows that's how you get big. Frank Mir knows that. Alistair Overeem knows that. Brock Lesnar damn sure knows that.
But he might have a shot at the – I mean, I don't want to go too long on Overeem, but, if he wins his next fight convincingly, I think he'll get one more title shot because the UFC heavyweight division is so boring. Nothing against Miocic, but he's just hard. Like, he's just nice, and he's a fucking firefighter.
Yeah.
You can't sell tickets.
And they like to do it. It's like when they gave Dan Henderson his last title shot against Bisping and shit. I mean, they like to, all right, you're on your way out. Here's one more go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number
I
two,
also
Pepper?
think Alistair Overeem. Let me think about this before I say it. I'm pretty sure I'm right. I think he has the best nipples in the heavyweight division.
Well, I disagree with you big time there.
Oh, come on,
In
man.
the heavyweight division?
Whose nipples beat Overeem?
Oh my God, dude! Are you Stevie Wonder? He's not even in the top 3 of best nips.
What?
Dude, best nips. The Wayne Gretzky of nipples, the LeBron James of nipples, the Pete Rose of nipples is by far and away Cain Velasquez. He's got those big pink donut,
Succulent.
bologna pancake nips. Come on, dude.
That's just a matter of taste. Because I'm not a big. I like the smaller the nipple, the better. I like a good, concise nipple. I don't like you fucking spreading my fucking areola all over the goddamn titty. I want a nice, concise nipple where it's all fucking right there in one place.
No, man. I like those Cain Velasquez bologna pancakers.
You'll see.
I don't want to see yours. Oh my God, I'm losing my
Oh
feed.
shit! I got Band-Aids on them. I forgot.
What's your number two?
My number 2 is fucking Cowboy Cerrone. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 1 is Chael P. Sonnen. The P stands for undefeated.
Yeah, I like Sonnen, but he ripped off the superstar Billy Graham's promos. So
I think that was
ding him
intentional.
I did him for not being original. Like,
yeah.
Like, I get he's a fan of Billy Graham, but so am I going my number 2 or number 1? I'm confused here.
Well, I only skipped mine because I had Overeem. I shared a pick with you.
Oh, okay. Well, in that vein, I'll go. I'll just briefly say my number 2 is Derek Lewis, but he's still so young in the game. I mean, he's not young.
He's getting better.
But for a UFC heavyweight, he's young.
Right.
You probably like his nipples.
They're not bad. He's too dark for me to really appreciate them.
Oh, it's because you're racist. That's fun.
No.
That's fun. That's fun. My number 1, racist Earl Skakel. My number 1 is Mark Hunt.
Oh yeah, I love Mark Hunt. I mean, that's he'd either win or lose, or he'd either get knocked out or knockout. Like,
he's never been knocked out. Watch him out. He's had
TKOs.
Yeah, he's had TKOs. He's never gone to sleep in the octagon.
I think Stipe uppercutted him and made both feet leave the ground.
Hey, no. He has the best chin ever.
I feel bad for him because he faced a lot of guys who were on roids.
Yeah.
He never did roids. He's just a fucking big New Zealander.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like.
Yeah, he's still tweeting about that Brock fight.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Like, I'd be pissed too. Like, you could die in there, man. And he's doing it the right way. He can't help it. He's just naturally fucking stronger than everyone.
Do you follow him on Instagram?
I don't. Maybe I do. Send me a friend request if I don't.
Dude, he's fucking great on Instagram. Because he posted a picture a couple months ago. I guess his kid had gotten in like a bike accident. And his kid's no skin from like right here, like down to his eyelid, just completely fucking gone. And it's just a picture of his kid, like kind of looking up, like, like he just got in a fucking bike wreck. And the caption on it was like something like, "Look at this fucking idiot." And then he posted a picture like 2 days later, and it was completely healed. He was like, "Hunt kids heal quick." I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" Yeah.
Great fighter, though. I just wish
he get a fair shake.
I just feel, it's like, what can you do? I mean, I had a friend of mine who fought in Pride, and he was like, everyone's hot over there in terms of steroids, and if they want you to pass, you'll pass. And he was talking about the UFC specifically. So I just feel bad that he did it the right way, and didn't work out for him.
Yeah. Well,
who's your number 1, Earl?
Number 1 is Fedor. Although I understand why he didn't win in the UFC, because like we were talking about with Chandler and Alvarez, like I love Fedor. I still think he's the best heavyweight in his prime era. But he had a couple softies on his card, like Hongman Choi, and I think in the UFC there's no softies there. Even though Verdum beat him in Strikeforce.
Did Verdum submit him?
Yeah, triangle.
Yeah, he triangled him, but he got out of it for a second, but you could tell the ego was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
And he was still dry. You know, he wasn't sweating by then. So it was just, you don't want to get caught in a triangle with Verdum. Get out of it and then go, fuck it. I'll go back
his
in.
his
And at that
legs
point,
are
he was
6
on like a
feet
31 fight win streak.
Yeah.
He's probably like, yeah, God will get me out of this.
I mean, he never really lost. The only no contest he had was like to some Asian fighter who headbutted him, so they stopped the fight.
It's like the
But,
John
you
Jones
know,
loss. It's like nobody respects that.
Yeah.
To Matt
Matt Hamill. You can
Right.
talk as much. We've done this a shit ton of times. You can talk as much as you want about him because he's deaf, so
Can't
he'll
listen to
never hear this.
podcasts.
Yeah, he'll never hear it. So,
Matt Hamill's a
baby back bitch.
I mean,
You
looking
got to cover
back,
up your mouth so he can't read
your
lips.
I don't think you have to.
Matt Hamill fucks kids
you don't
and
wanna say that.
dogs.
But by the way, I don't condone any of these opinions
No,
on this podcast.
Drew Brees.
Nor do we condone any of yours.
Yeah, but I'm not saying some MMA fighter fucks kids.
Yeah, you said that racist thing about Derek Lewis. We don't condone that.
What's racist about saying I can't see his nipples?
Oh, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
You're right, dude.
Yep.
But I mean, the reality is, I should have known Fedor's UFC stint wasn't going to do well when, you cannot. They often say you can tell a lot by a fighter from his losses, but I think with Fedor, when he barely beat Brett Rogers, who was literally 2-3 months earlier working in a tire store, trained no MMA. He was just a big fucking dude.
Yeah, that's when Strikeforce is on like CBS and shit.
Oh, I remember. But like that should have been like, okay, I don't know how he would do against, say, an Overeem or a Cain Velasquez. If he's barely beating Brett Rogers, who was 2 years into MMA,
right?
That's not a good sign. But he's still the greatest, in my opinion.
All right, let's jump over to overrated comics. The tasty subject.
I feel bad about a couple of these because I feel like Earl really likes some of these people.
I think.
Well, listen, that's the thing is, I might name a few that you guys like. It's including my number one. I've never heard anyone say a bad word about him. So, it's all relative. Comedy is so subjective.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Ralphie May.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me turn the TV off. It just came on magically.
Oh, you're good. All right, I'm going to go take a piss while Earl turns the TV off.
All right. Couple fucking levers.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good, man. Pepper ran to piss.
Oh, okay.
He was getting ready to shit on Ralphie May.
Oh, no, but that's
subjective.
Everything. I'm sure people think I suck. Some people, and just other people, I'm awesome. So it's.
I love Ralphie too. I mean, he had some older specials. I don't remember which ones they were that I liked a lot, and I got to see him live probably about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. It was in Biloxi, Mississippi, down here, and he was fucking great. I mean, he brought the room down.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's I think it really depends on what style of comedy you like. Like, I'm dry and sarcastic, so I'll save the names for the reveal. But so I generally like dry and sarcastic comics, but there's higher energy comics that I'm like, oh, they're I don't find them funny, but obviously they're funny.
You can get it without liking it.
Yeah, so it's like if you like high energy comics, you're gonna look at someone like Stephen Wright if you're in your 20s and go, what is this?
Yeah, I don't get it. What's he doing? He's so articulate. Why isn't he dancing?
Yeah, it's like, if you like Kiss for the theatrics, you're going to think like Dream Theater sucks because they're just musicians.
Yeah. All right, Ralphie May was your pick?
Yeah, man, I just,
Cuba
it's not my thing, I guess.
Cuba Diving?
Yeah.
That's the only joke I could remember off the top of my head.
I mean, I enjoyed him on, I believe I've heard him on a few podcasts.
Church of What's Happening Now. He's on there.
I enjoy the shit out of everybody's stories that they have about Ralphie. He seems like a fucking excellent dude.
Yeah, the vibe you get from all the stories is he's like the most generous motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He would always text me and go, let me get you on the road, and let me call this manager. Let me get you to headline, Stand Up Live in Alabama. I know the guy.
Yeah.
Because he knew
That's,
my girl.
Huntsville, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I from what I hear, it's not the greatest club, but like still.
It's not the greatest state.
Well, it's weird. It's right off the freeway. I don't know if they call it a freeway.
Interstate?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Highway?
You think we call like roads different?
You
shit?
talking about that fucking?
You talking about the wagon trail?
concrete strip?
Talking
Well, no,
about the
but yeah.
beaver path?
Like out here, we call it a freeway, but like
Everybody calls it a
interstate.
freeway.
So it's literally like you could drive off the interstate into the parking lot.
So,
Don't
you're
encourage
like somebody hits a punchline and then you just hear like a tractor trailer come by.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Whitney Cummings.
Hot take.
I mean, I'm friends with her, but like it's all good. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you? What do you not like about her?
He's wildly sexist. I think that's it.
No.
Oh, and he hates dogs too.
I think she's a horse girl, not a dog girl.
I'm a horse guy.
You are a horse girl.
What, Earl, have you ever heard my horse fucking song?
I'm not gonna lie to you, no.
So, that DNO episode that dropped yesterday that you're the guest on, they open with Pepper's
Well, I
horse
don't
fucking
think
song.
that they played it.
Oh
like
wait,
that's
then
what
I
I'm
have
saying.
heard it. Then I was like, I swear to God, I'm not trying to make you feel, but I'm like, what the fuck
no.
is this song?
No,
horse
hey,
fucking
Earl,
song.
Earl, we don't know each other. I don't expect you to know my fucking work.
No,
It's
but I
fine.
was
No,
like,
he's saying like he was like, "What the fuck am I listening to?" He did hear it. That's what he said.
I did hear it. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, it went on for so long. I'm like, am I in the wrong interview? Like, because when someone sends me a link, say, hey, here's the link to the podcast, can you tweet it out and take it on? I always listen to the first minute or two just to make sure it's my episode.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
It was 4 minutes of Pepper singing about fucking horses.
I checked out about 3 minutes in, and I think I messaged Danish going, is this my episode? Because all I hear is this song about fucking an animal.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He sings that.
Those are the songs I enjoy, right?
Yeah, I don't have like a personal vendetta against fucking Whitney Cummings. I just don't find her stand up to be very funny. Again, it's subjective, but her specials I've seen, I'm not crazy about. Her podcasts, I'm not crazy about. Just don't find her very humorous. I also feel like she was a little shitty with the Chris D'Elia situation. I didn't really like watching that either.
Well, I get it though. Like,
Yeah, that's a touchy thing too. It's like her perspective is totally different. Also,
what's tough? I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm friends with Chris, and like,
right?
Yeah.
it's just like, and some of the others who've been called out too.
Yeah.
It's like you're kind of stuck. You want to defend your friend, but like, the screenshots and shit. It's tough to.
The quickly like extreme turn before any kind of anything comes out to shit on somebody is a turn off.
My whole thing is because people will fucking say erroneously, they'll be like, I mean, well, I had to say something. No, you didn't. Like, you don't have to comment on a situation
Immediately
about one of your friends. Like, it has nothing to do with you. You can 100% just shut the fuck up and see how everything plays out before you say anything. But people will be like, well, no, he's my friend. I had to say something. You did not have to say anything. You could just let it fucking
in his case, I think she was going to be asked about it just because, they were on a TV show together and
right.
Sure.
they're so closely aligned. So I can understand why she felt the need to like get ahead of the rolling ball.
Right.
Sure.
Just like I get asked all the time about the Jeff thing because of roast battle. And, it's like I kind of have to say something just because, someone asks you, what do you think about this? You can't just go, oh, I don't know. But I don't volunteer either.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
If we found out tomorrow that Thomas like sexually assaulted 13 girls and somebody asked me about it, I would be like, yeah, I don't know. I never saw him do that. I have no idea. Maybe it happened. Who knows?
That sounds
Oh,
like
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. All these, and I know that this has nothing to do with like the top four, but it's like most of these cases are all he said, she said. So
right. Yeah, that was my only issue. Was like trying to jump out ahead of it and taking the other side before anything comes out. Like before there's any proof is the gross thing.
My number 3 is.
I don't even think we got his number 4.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Number 4, Number 4 is Dane Cook. Nothing personal. I respect how big he got.
Yep.
Like I really do. Like
Are you talking about physically or like in the industry?
industry. He is certainly
Swelt.
He's got a new look right now.
Oh boy, does he have a new look?
Yeah.
But see, I've never understood why man or female, like to me, and obviously you age. I mean, we're around the same age, I think. I think he's late 40s.
Yeah.
I get wanting to look younger and all that, but like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone get surgery and growth hormone or whatever he's doing look better.
Yeah, I do think it's HGH. That's my opinion.
Earl, take this as a compliment, but you could tell people that you were 40, and I don't think anybody would bat an eye.
No.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm 52, but like,
you look incredible.
Full head of hair for the most part. So I understand wanting to look young. It's nothing wrong there, but I wouldn't. Like, I got a wrinkle here and there. I'd buy moisturizer and all that bullshit. But I wouldn't get like growth hormone shots.
Well, that Comedy Central Presents Dane Cook did with the black tank top, that dropped in 2000, I think. So I was like 7. So this is gonna sound very disrespectful, but that was made like for me, like for my age group. So I fucking loved Dane Cook when I was a kid.
I don't think he's doing comedy for 7-year-olds, dude.
But I mean, like,
sarcasm, but I did love it as a fucking kid. As like like middle school, Dane Cook was my shit.
Oh yeah, he was like, to play Madison Square Garden when most comics can't fill the belly room. I just, like we were talking about when Pepper was going pee-pee. I like dry and sarcastic.
Yeah.
Robert Schimmel, Stephen Wright.
Sure.
Mitch
Dane's a bit much.
Well, I mean, I get it though. I say this and it's a compliment, really, because they're my favorite rock group. Dane, to me, is like the Kiss of comics. You know, he could tell you a joke on a podcast or just drinking a beer with you.
Yeah.
But you see him do that joke in a room full of fans, and you're like, this is the greatest comic of all time.
Yeah, he knows how to orchestrate a crowd.
Same thing with Kiss. You put on a Kiss CD, you're like, this music is iffy. But you see them do Rock and Roll All Night with the lasers and the bombs and the levitating drum kits.
Yeah, it's a fucking event.
You're like, this is the greatest show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's my number 4.
And I saw Dane live, but it was in the Laugh Factory.
Right.
And I think that's probably a wildly different show, seeing 15 minutes of Laugh Factory than seeing a fucking hour at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And he still killed it. I mean, he still did fucking great. But
he's smart, and it's the Kiss analogy. He is marketing.
Kiss playing the Laugh Factory.
I could actually, but I see him. He's marketing himself to people, the sorority and fraternity group when he was first popping, and he's doing what we all want to do. I want to market myself to people who think dry and sarcastic humor is funny.
Yep.
So. He's a brilliant marketer. He's not overrated as a marketer, but as a comic, I know of 20 funnier people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
Probably
totally fair.
And that's not a knock on him. It's just.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's also an idiot, and he let his brother steal all his money. My number 3 is Joe Rogan.
Huh?
Joe Rogan. I think Joe Rogan is an overrated stand-up comedian.
Okay.
Sorry.
What's up? I mean, I don't, but like, hey, it's like,
he's
not. Yeah, he's good. I mean, he's not in my.
And here's the thing: like, he's probably one of the like top 30 funniest people on the planet. But I think people overreact to all his shit and say like, "Oh my god, that was the greatest special of all time," just to suck his dick to get on his podcast. So as far as
there's definitely a lot of that. And people already they're like predisposed to so much of his other shit. They love it before they even go in, before they watch it.
So I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's overrated just because he delivers to his fan base exactly what they want.
Right. And I'll say Pepper's so fucking tired of hearing about me going to the Comedy Store, but I saw Joe 3 nights in a row in the main room, and he did the same bit, the same 15-minute chunk. And 3 nights in a row, and we went to all 3 of them. And the third night was a million times better and different and more. The way we like in real time saw him work out a fucking bit and tighten it up and make it better was pretty fucking cool to watch.
Right.
What's number 3?
My number 3 is Jerry Seinfeld as a stand-up.
All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Jerry Seinfeld.
He's another one. Like, he got so fucking big that like.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, like we were talking about, is like I get it, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, he was my number 2, so like we
really?
could combine my.
Okay.
Obviously, he's worth $1 billion. He's funny.
Yeah.
But,
He knows what he's
I
fucking
don't-
doing.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why I never like. I mean, it's a tough show to do on some of these selections because you're like, obviously they're funny, but like, it's personal preference. So I'm right there with you.
All right, my
My number 3. Are we at number 3?
Yes.
Yes.
Trevor Noah. I just don't get it.
I don't get
I've
it
never
at
seen any of
all.
his stand-up.
I mean, I like obviously he's funny. Like I just he's never made me laugh once.
No, not me either.
Yeah.
And he's like the face of Comedy Central. So obviously, like
Yeah, but
when I critique someone, I'm not saying they're not funny, but like I get maybe he's black and from South Africa, so you've got like he's different, like not just some Larry the Cable Guy looking dude. But I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. And being the face of Comedy Central in 2020 is wildly different than it was in other times.
Even 5 years ago. I mean, 5 years ago. And I know you hate the show, dude, but Roast Battle was my favorite thing that Comedy Central has done. Probably like aside from like South Park, it might be South Park and This Is Not Happening.
Chappelle Show?
Okay, it's my favorite thing they've done in like 10 years. It was fucking incredible. It's the only time I think ever that I have been like told my wife that like, no, we have to watch Comedy Central tonight because they're doing fucking Roast Battle. Like we have to watch it live.
Well,
It's the only time where I've had to watch Comedy Central live for an event.
I only acknowledge season 1, but
I think it's the best season. I think it's the only season they got right. They started fucking with it after that. And, obviously the best comedian in the group wasn't a part of it anymore. So that's why it failed.
Well, I think like it was an educational experience in how a network can fuck up a show that is so simple.
Yeah.
Like, because I was in the room the day it started, like when there was 2 people who wanted to fight and Brian Moses was like, you can't fight. Why don't you guys, I think he said snap each other, which is basically roasting in the hood.
Yeah.
And then, the next week they were like, hey, that was fun. Can we do it? And then the week after that, but they got into their heads that, you need celebrities, and it's not like they were getting huge celebrities. Like, Blake Griffin, he's very funny. I will give him this. For someone who's not, I guess he's a stand-up now, but who hasn't been doing it that long, he's pretty funny. But I don't think he moved the ratings at all. Like,
no,
I don't. Was it worth it to change the integrity of the show?
But I mean, that battle, I think, almost ensured that you weren't going to have a season 4, because how do you have the best you're hoping for in that battle against Jeff is, well, I hope Blake gets in a good one.
Yeah.
And that's not roast battle.
Well, and what they did, they alienated the people who were actually watching the show to try to get more people. And that's so fucking stupid. Like, you already have a group of people who are very invested to this show and fucking love it. And then you basically said, like, no, fuck it. Let's throw away all the integrity. Let's throw away all the fucking, like, cred that we have for the show and just completely jump the shark and try to fucking get 5 million fucking viewers or something just because we have Blake dumb fuck Griffin.
I do agree with you, Earl. I thought Blake was actually pretty funny, but I get that the overall point of the show. Didn't Dolph Ziggler roast like Sarah Tiana?
Well, they're friends, so I get it. Yeah. But like, even that battle, and I think Sarah's the best of all the people I've roast battled. I would say she's the best because she's just.
We're gonna have her on.
Yeah, we're talking to
probably
her now.
Next week to talk about the Braves playoff.
She's amazing, but like she's so hard to battle because she's she's not fat, she's not old, she's not she's very pretty.
Yeah,
but you have to almost. Oh my God, she's beyond funny, and you have to almost you have to say something mean about her, So I was stuck in a position of because in our battle, Sarah Silverman was judging, and I knew that Sarah Silverman, I think it was the James Franco roast, she was very offended by all the age and body jokes against her. So I was like, well, I can't do that against Sarah, so I'm going to try and be cute, and Sarah's an animal, So that was my mistake. But they just like, they gave Jeff and Blake a tie when most people will tell you Blake beat Jeff. So now he's not the roast master. He literally just lost to a guy who'd never battled before.
Yeah,
So
he lost to a goddamn point guard.
Yeah.
But like you ruined the whole
Mystique.
Like if it were me and you want to get these B-level celebrities on, I would have had Jeff battle Sarah.
Yeah.
Because Sarah's great. So if Jeff loses to her, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Dolph battles Blake.
Yeah, and then so you get your NBA and pro wrestler on, and then doesn't matter who wins or loses, but obviously I was upset with how I was treated, but I beat Jimmy Carr. That's like winning the Masters. I should have been in every season.
It really was an epic battle. Because, Jimmy Carr was so goddamn strong in the ones that he did before yours. And I was like, dude. And, obviously, like, you were really fucking – like, just your entrances put you, like, 3 steps above anybody you were fucking battling.
Yeah, I just saw where you shared that Joe Rogan clip the other day where he's talking about your entrance on the podcast.
But, look at, Rogan's not talking about any other roast battle comic.
Yep.
You know what? He's an overrated comic.
But that's but I can't say you're wrong. Like, it's your opinion. Like,
yeah.
I don't think he is, but roast battle could have gone on at least a few more seasons, but they stopped caring about who was actually good at it.
They fucked it up.
Well, the Sklar brothers battle was horrible, and I'm friends with those guys. But it was just scripted and
honorable mention.
Yeah.
But roast battle is not scripted or rehearsed. It's me and Jimmy Carr were of equal roasting ability, so it's a good battle. And me and Sarah, even though I lost, great battle, and
Yeah, it's a fucking skill. It shouldn't be scripted.
I just wish Comedy Central would sell it to like somebody good, and they could just do it and put it on YouTube or something like that.
I think it's too late now. I think it's like.
I think you're right.
You had such momentum after season 1.
If you, yes. I understand that. But if you went back and stripped all of the bullshit away and just started from bare bones where it's just Brian Moses and the fucking Comedy Store and you're just doing that and then you just filmed that and put it on YouTube or something like that, it could be fucking huge.
But it's all about the matchups and they
yes.
Like my season.
Yes and no, because I listened to the New York version. Whatever it was called, I don't even remember. It was a podcast, and some of those, a lot of them were people you never fucking heard of, but it was people who knew each other and knew how to fucking roast each other, and it was really fucking good. Christy Mayer was on a bunch of them. There was a guy named Matt who had like a fucked up hand or something that was on a bunch of them, and they were really fucking good. It's people
Mike Lawrence on that.
Yeah, it's people you never heard of, but it didn't matter because they knew what they were doing and they knew each other, so they could roast each other really good, and it was still entertaining. I really don't think celebrity is even a fucking factor in the roast battle shit.
Well, if they're good at it, like Todd Barry was pretty good at it, but
we gotta see Todd Barry, Brendan Walsh roast battle. That would be incredible.
But they just when they asked me to do the show, I said this is who I should battle, and I listed the 2 people because I had a relationship with both people, and they were like, "We're tail the roof off the place," and they're like, "No, we have a different plan for her." And you were gonna
produce it.
You're gonna, but I was giving them it wasn't like I was being self-serving, saying, "Well, I want to face this person because I could beat them." I was like, give me this person because we used to date, and she's the youngest, I'm the oldest. That's a natural storyline.
Yeah, it's good for you guys. It'll be a great fucking show.
And they're like, nah. And then they put me up against some dude I'd never met before, and it was a good battle because I made it good because with all my bullshit I do. But
because you're good.
Where are we at? What pick are we on?
I am about to.
I don't even know what category we're on.
Overrated comedians.
I'm about to drop my number 2 overrated comedian. I'm pretty sure you just dropped your number 3.
I did, but I think we shared number 2.
Yeah, me and you did.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and knock out my number.
Just do your number 2
and 1.
Oh yeah.
Go
around to ones.
All right, my number 2 is Brendan Schaub. My number 1.
Wait, is he a comic?
I haven't done my number 2 yet. Brendan Schaub. He had a Showtime special.
I don't think he did.
I think you'd be surprised.
All right, my number 1 is Aziz Ansari.
Yeah, that's my number 2. I didn't do my number 2 yet. So Aziz is my number 2.
Yeah. I mean, he had one funny joke. That's disrespectful. But he really did. In my mind, he had one funny joke like 10 years ago that Randy, and that wasn't even him. That was a character.
That was Funny People, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Adam Sandler movie.
So, like, in my opinion, his best joke was him doing a character for a movie. And, I mean, we used to play that, like, constantly. Like the YouTube video of, Randy, I drowned in a motherfucking hot tub eating the girl's pussy. Pow, pow, pow. All that shit. I'm tweaking. But, yeah, other than that, I just don't get it, I guess. And Brendan Schaub, I mean, you know, he's
a nice guy.
I hear he's a nice guy.
I don't even know if that's true.
No, he is. He's very, actually, I think I mean, I don't know. I've met him once or twice. Like, you could tell he's like, okay, I know everyone's better than me up here, but I'm famous, so I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. Like, I can't hate on him for the opportunity.
Sure.
Right.
The only person I would hate on is his manager, whoever it is.
Just hangs out there to dry on Showtime
I mean,
for an hour.
if I were the manager, you know, because when I was like 5 or 6 years in, most of my friends had started getting specials and Tonight Show appearances. So I was like, well, I want that. Like, I'm, you know, it's hard when all your friends are getting it and you're the only one. Yeah. So I get why he was probably looking at Rogan and Callan and D'Elia and Theo and Steve Byrne, like, but his manager should have been like, dude, you're not ready. 3 years into comedy.
Or one of those guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like when Rogan said, hey, dude, you should retire. You're starting to lose in vicious fashion. Someone should have said that. Like, what I would have done is, dude, we're going to do a Brendan Schaub and Friends.
Yeah.
And you're going to host it.
Yeah.
You do the first 6 minutes and then you just relax.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he could even do something like actually cool where, because, you know, there's a ton of UFC fighters who are comedy fans and like want to do comedy and shit like that. Yeah. He could have like a thing where it's like, hey, all these UFC fighters are going to do like 5 minutes of stand-up.
Yeah, but I do think he wants to separate from that life pretty fucking hard too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess
I say have him fight Cain Velasquez in the main room.
I don't even want to say.
Hey, I mean,
there's a website. There's a website dedicated to Brendan Schaub. I don't want to say the words that the website is while we have you, but I think a lot of people, huh?
Well, I think you know, like I'll compare myself to Schaub. Like I think he's been doing comedy 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: when I was doing comedy 3 or 4 years in, I was an animal. I was going up 3 nights a week, 7 nights or 3 nights a day, 7 days. You know, I was going up minimum 20 times a week.
Right.
So at 3 or 4 years in, I had the experience level of someone who'd probably been doing it 10 years.
Sure.
You know, I don't think before his special, he was probably going up maybe 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, doing a weekend.
And hot crowds, you know, opening up for Rogan. You know, he wasn't doing bar shows and tougher shows that gave him the thick skin. So I just think he was, you know, it's not just, I think lay people don't understand. Doing a special isn't just standing up there for an hour. It's an hour of all killer, no filler.
Yeah.
And like I watched this special and it just like he seemed to, obviously I don't know what he was thinking, but he seemed just visually to me of thinking, God, please laugh, please laugh, please laugh. And
yes,
do
it felt desperate.
But, you know, I get, you know, you don't know you're not ready until you do it. And I think he probably knows it.
Just like when
there's probably people close to him that feed the delusion a little bit too.
Oh, yeah. You get so many phony people in this business. And, you know, I can't tell you how many times I bombed and people come up to me, hey, great set. Can you get my number to Jeff so I can roast battle next week? You know.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's a very nice guy though. Like he's humble but you know, when all your friends are famous and have what you want, I think he probably just jumped the gun a little bit.
Yeah. My number one's Amy Schumer. That leather special was the first special I've probably seen in 15 years where I don't know that I cracked a smile.
Yeah, I mean, tough, dude.
I mean, I think if she was a dude, you'd be like, this person's awful.
Yes.
But
Because part of me is like, I don't even want to say anything about her. But at the same time, it's like, it's just not for me. That's why they got rid of the Netflix rating. Was because of that special.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I didn't watch the whole thing, but like, you know, like I said, like, she's got a great angle of being like the everyday looking girl. Like,
Sure.
you know, she's not hot, she's cute, she's not ugly, but you know, she's like in between, I guess.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll make the statement right now. You'd be surprised. The Brendan Schaub Showtime special is better than Amy Schumer's Leather special on Netflix.
I mean, it's close.
Yeah.
They should roast each other.
Like she probably had
8 writers.
Writers and stuff, like, and I'm sure I know who writes for Schaub. You know, they're 2 very funny comics, but like, you know, your first special going back to him should be your greatest hits, and I don't know if he has a greatest hit, let alone now.
Yeah.
So,
what's your number one, Earl?
Number one is just someone I've never gotten the idolization this guy gets, and you think I would like him because he's kind of my style, but Bill Hicks.
Yeah, he bores me to fucking death.
Yeah. To be honest, you know, I heard a lot of hype, and then I went out and checked out. I think because it was one of those people, like, I wanted to give him a chance because I heard so many good things. And I think I watched like 2 full specials. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a generational thing. Maybe, I don't know. But
yeah, that's what I always thought is like maybe if I was watching this in real time, it would have been different.
Yeah, I mean, I just like Ralphie May idolized him. Any comic I think from Texas really loves him.
Ron White. I think it also becomes one of those things where it's like it feels like one of those things you're supposed to say. Like Bill Hicks is great without actually having your own opinion on it. It just feels like one of those things you're supposed to be able to say.
But I mean, I don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm an 80s metalhead, but I recognize he's great.
Sure.
You don't like Stevie Ray Vaughan? I
know. I just like I'd rather listen to CC DeVille from Poison play, which is crazy, but
So. See, I was with you, and then you lost me. I don't like Poison or Stevie Ray Vaughan.
All right.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Both of you guys are retarded. I'm gonna do some honorable mentions for overrated comics. This is a guy that is not only overrated. He's
Chris Collins.
He's just a bad person, and I legitimately believe in my heart that he deserves to die, and he doesn't deserve life on this planet, and that is Michael Rappaport. He is a huge fucking piece of shit. I fucking hate him. I hate him for not 1 or 2 things that he's said or done. I hate him for like his entire fucking career. I fucking hate that motherfucker. I know you guys think he's an amazing actor.
He's great in Copland and Justified.
Fuck that dude. Fuck that dude. If I ever see him on the fucking street, it's on site. I will beat that motherfucker's ass. I'm 5'7"3/4. I will ragdoll that motherfucker. I don't give a fuck what you say. My number 2 on my
Earl, wasn't he in Poetic Justice?
Fuck
He's
that
good
bitch.
in that too. Huh?
He was also good in the Nicolas Cage Caruso movie Kiss of Death.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
No,
is
he
he
is
a really
legitimately good actor.
Right.
Michael Rappaport.
I think he's I don't even think of him as a comedian. I think he's a famous person doing comedy. Like,
yes, I look at him the same way. Even when he had a podcast, I'm like,
not even good at
this is an
basketball.
actor that started the podcast.
He shouldn't talk about anything other than basketball.
Well, to me, he comes off like just a rip-off, a Bill Burr light.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, probably because of red. I mean, that's kind of racist. Just because of the red hair, you're saying that.
I mean, I don't know if he's ripping off Burr intentionally, but he's like going for that angry.
Yeah. Somebody turn the volume up on Burr, and you got a fucking
white dude.
He's just bad. But he starts talking before he has any idea what's going on at all, and that's just a bad thing for anybody to do, and he should die for it. My number 2 of my honorable mentions is Chris D'Elia. I just don't get it. I know Thomas fucking loves him. And I mean, I enjoy almost everything else about him that's not a stand-up.
I thought you liked Men on Fire a lot.
Like, it was fine.
Yeah. The Denzel movie's better.
Never seen that. But I enjoy his podcast a pretty good deal. I like
Rest in peace.
I like his like social media stuff. It's pretty funny, but like his stand up, I just don't get it. Another Dane Cook, you already mentioned him, obviously. Don't get it. I think that wraps up my overrated comedian. I got a lot of.
I mean, there's so many. I mean,
Yeah,
there's thousands of.
And it's because there's so many comedians, there's so many different comedians. Like, you could like a whole, you could dislike like a whole genre of comedy and just like completely write off everybody.
I mean, I don't get Bill Maher, and you'd think I would like him because I'm dry and sarcastic.
Because you sound exactly the same, and I thought
we do.
You've been doing a Bill Maher impression your entire life, and that's where you're.
I met him. I got him good one night at the Comedy Store. He walks in with these two hot black girls because that's his thing is black women.
Yep.
And he kind of looked at me like he knew I knew who he was, and he wanted me to say, "Hey, I loved you on Politically Incorrect on HBO."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, I loved you in DC Cab," and he just looked at me like, "Fuck you, man."
He's like, never mind.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about the black girl's nipples
Oh,
because I was going back to the Derek
man.
Lewis
Hey,
thing,
come
but
on,
we're gonna continue.
That's junk.
That's junk.
You got any honorable mentions for overrated comedians?
No.
Okay, Earl.
You got
I just have one, and I love him because he was always nice to me when I was starting out. But Eddie Griffin just kind of like came off as like a diet version of Paul Mooney, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Can we go around and do like one underrated, real quick?
Underrated?
Yeah, man, because I got to watch the debate you got.
Yeah, no, fuck that. Yeah, let's
do it. Let's do it. One. Let's do one.
One underrated.
Yeah, we'll wrap up on this.
You hit it.
No, you.
All right. I'm the one who thought of it.
Yeah.
All right. Underrated.
Were you not ready to go when you brought this idea?
No, I wasn't.
Dude.
Jesus.
Sorry, dude.
The farmer's man
Pepper
bastard.
Pepper says Shane Gillis.
Oh, yeah, Shane Gillis. Well, I haven't really seen too much of a stand-up, to be honest.
All right.
Well, hey, we tried
idea.
and we failed. It's fine. That's what happens.
I've got one. You go.
No, go ahead.
No, do you have one?
I'm gonna say this year Louis C.K. Everybody turned on him.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Obviously, it's in the credit he deserves, but I mean, hey, he's fucking hilarious.
Being older, I'm going to throw out a name. I'll almost guarantee you guys have never heard of this guy, but that's the whole point. They're underrated. A black comic in the 70s by the name of Franklin Ajayi. He never really – he was in the movie Convoy. I mean, that's probably what he's most known for, but he just had the really unfortunate timing of being a black comic the same time Richard Pryor was. And if you want to look him up, his last name is Ajaye. I guess it's spelled Ajayi. And then, in the 80s, he was still young enough to, maybe make a shot when Pryor was going down. But then Eddie Murphy came on.
Yeah.
So if he was just in another era, he'd be super famous because he's so funny. I mean, there's so many underrated comics.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine to Damon Wayans.
I'm going to say I know this guy is super highly regarded, and he's got like 3 million views on YouTube, but I still don't think he has enough credit. Fucking Mark Norman.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's great. I love him.
Yeah, he's going to be on my Rushmore joke writers, too, if we got to that.
Yeah.
But
we could go – I mean, there's so many underrated – there's so many L.A. comics that I know that Jason Galern, who you guys have probably never heard of, but he's like –
Brian Holtzman.
Holtzman is like someone who – because I perform with him a lot, you're like, this guy should be famous. Like, and what's famous is different to everyone, but like,
sure,
he should be more. He could have the potential to blow up like Kinnison did with that wild man.
He's
character.
so fucking unique. Insane.
I got my wife addicted to his Instagram stuff where it's like, it's Tuesday and just he's fucking funny.
His Instagram doesn't
do him justice.
You got to see him live.
I got to see him live in the main room at like 1 in the fucking morning.
So you get it, like
And I also got to see. I saw Brody Stevens pretty much every night that week. This is right before he passed when I was there, and I got to see him like 4 or 5 nights in a row at fucking 1, 2 in the morning. I mean, there was one night Brody performed a full set. There might have been 6 people left there because it was the end of the night, and it was still fucking electric the whole fucking time.
I mean, Brody was another one where even if he was alive, it'd be like he should be more famous. Like even though he was very well known in the comedy circles, but like He could have
had
been
it.
the wacky neighbor. He could have been like the Kramer-esque character on a sitcom.
Yeah.
And, one
Yeah,
more
something.
person I'd like to. He's a Northern California comic, and he was Letterman's favorite comic. His name is Larry Bubbles Brown.
Oh shit.
He was on like Letterman 5 times.
Oh really?
And he was so good that it was either the last episode of Letterman or the second to last. Letterman was like, "I want you as the comic."
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's just because I opened up for Rob Schneider, and whenever we were in Northern California, Larry would do the shows with us. And I'm like, "Dude, why don't you come to LA, man? You're like," and he's like, "I like it up here, man." He's just, I don't want to say he's given up on making it, but he's just comfortable being the big fish. And so, but it's criminal to me. He's so funny.
God damn.
Sam Tripoli too. I want to throw that out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, we could literally go on for 2
on.
hours about,
Yeah.
There's so many, Danish and O'Neill.
Yeah.
Individually or as a team, no one makes me laugh like them. I mean, we could literally do a Mount Rushmore of underrated comics for 2 hours.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We're gonna let you get to the debates,
Dude, we have to we got to do an episode in the future. We need to do like a deep dive UFC episode.
Yeah, we didn't get to joke writers or wrestlers. We'll do that on a part 2 before too long. If that's cool
we
with you.
got to
We could. Yeah.
There's a lot of unshit on toilet paper with this. We gotta.
Oh yeah, I mean joke writers is great because it's all subjective. Like I like different style jokes than you guys do. So like mine would, like I would say Stephen Wright, but you guys might say Mark Norman or
Yeah.
Right.
And like they're totally different, but like they're it's like who's the greatest guitar player, Eddie Van Halen or B.B. King? Like they're both great.
Neither. It's John Mayer actually.
James Hetfield,
you guys
for
don't
sure. James
fucking
Hetfield.
listen to music, I guess. It's
John Mayer. He came up to me once at the store because he was doing comedy for a bit, and he's like, "Earl, what do you think of my comedy?" I'm like, "Well, you bumped me, so how would you feel if in the middle of one of your concerts I just came on stage with a banjo and did a solo?" And he like looked at me like, "Okay, you're not saying what you're saying, but I know what you're saying."
You're working against me.
Nice guy. But to see this guy operate with women is amazing.
Oh yeah, that's that scene from what Will Ferrell movie is that where he's on stage with Will Ferrell and he looks over and he's like, "You want to see 1,000 white women get wet at the same time?" He goes into his fucking song.
If he literally drowned in pussy, I would be like, yeah,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense.
But like he's got like this is an old reference, so but like he's got the eyes when he's in a room full of women because he judged Roast Battle a few times.
Yeah,
he was like one of those Battlestar Galactica droids where their eyes go like this, like it's just like hot chick over there, and he puts a mental note. Okay, I'll go over there as soon as this is over. If she says no, which she probably won't, there's a hot chick over there. Like it's like you can hear him making mental notes to himself.
I'd let him fuck me, dude. He's fucking hot.
I don't know about that, but
he's one. I do, no sarcasm. I do believe that he is the greatest living blues guitarist.
All right, Earl, we're gonna let you go, man. That's I don't know if I would agree with you there, but I would say Eric Johnson would be. But
yeah, it's all subjective. Fuck.
It really is. Like you look at that. I know we gotta go, but like Rolling Stone, anytime they do a top 100 guitar players, and I think where they lost me is they had Eddie Van Halen at 76, and like Kurt Cobain at 12.
Yeah,
this motherfucker plays power chords.
No, Eddie Van Halen invented so much shit, and Kurt Cobain is probably as good as me.
And Dave Grohl killed him. Yep, but that's another episode.
But it's like I get Nirvana was popular and certainly more the music Rolling Stone like reviewed and liked, but come on, man. Like, and they had Jerry Garcia at like 17. You put Van Halen. You put Jerry Garcia, put a Kramer guitar in his hand and say, play Eruption. He'd be like, what chord is that?
I don't know, bro.
What chord is that?
Yeah. So,
love you, Earl.
Just send me the links, boys, and I'll blast it. When is this out?
It's going to go up early on Patreon tomorrow, but the episode will be everywhere Friday morning.
Okay, just send me the links and shit, and I'll blast out.
You're the fucking man, Earl.
Love
this
you,
is
Earl.
Fucking great.
Love you.
We got to do an episode too. Commit to an episode 2 right now.
Episode 2, whenever, dude. Whenever.
Yes, we will absolutely hit you up on that. Thank you, man.
Love you.
All right, boys. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.